Fundamental rights are a class of rights that protect individual and group liberties, including the basic civil rights, equal rights, and privileges. In other words, rights inherent to all human beings by birth, without any discrimination, can be called human rights. Hence, being aware of humans' rights and developing the skills to implement them in daily life are essential to live in a society as a virtuous citizen. In Sri Lanka, fundamental rights are protected by the Constitution and are designed to protect the basic freedoms and liberties of every citizen. Chapter 3 of the Constitution of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka specifies the fundamental rights which are covered in Sri Lanka. This includes freedom of thought, conscience and religion, freedom from torture, and equality before law and protection from discrimination. The Constitution also guarantees protection from arbitrary arrest, detention, freedom of speech, expression, assembly, association, movement, and the right to practice one's religion, etc. The Supreme Court of Sri Lanka has the exclusive jurisdiction to hear and determine cases relating to the infringement or imminent infringement of fundamental rights as guaranteed by the Constitution. Now, let us go through each of the articles under Chapter 3 in order to understand the fundamental rights protection in Sri Lanka. Article 10 of the Constitution provides that every person is entitled to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, including the freedom to have or to adopt a religion or belief of his choice. The Republic of Sri Lanka shall give to Buddhism the foremost place, and accordingly it shall be the duty of the state to protect and foster the Buddha Sasana, while assuring to all religions the rights granted by Article 10. By doing this, there will be no discrimination against any citizen who practices other religions. The freedom of thought also is protected by this article. Article 11 of the Constitution provides that no person shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Recently in Sri Lanka, we have seen many instances where the people have sought the protection of court due to the violation of this article. The cases often involved allegations, especially against the police department, for brutality and illegal detention and other forms of physical and mental abuse inflicted on people. The Supreme Court has consistently held that Article 11 is a crucial safeguard against state-sanctioned violence and has established a high standard of proof for petitioners alleging violations. In many instances, the Supreme Court has even ordered the police officers who had been found guilty to pay compensation to the victims using their own personal funds. The Supreme Court has also gone to the extent of issuing directions to the state in order to protect the people from such violations. Article 12 of the Constitution gives protection for the right to equality. This is a very important right where it states that all persons are equal before the law and entitled to the equal protection of the law. It also provides that no citizen be discriminated on grounds of race, religion, language, caste, sex, political opinion, place of birth, or any one of such grounds. Examining Article 13, we can see it provides protection for the freedom from arbitrary arrest, detention and punishment, and prohibition of active penal legislation. The Constitution provides here that if a person is arrested, he or she shall be informed of the reason for his or her arrest, and shall only be arrested according to the procedure established by law. However, any such person arrested shall be brought before the judge of the nearest competent court according to the procedure established by law, and if any person is charged with an offense, shall be heard in person or by an attorney at law at a fair trial by a competent court. It is very important to note that every person shall be presumed innocent until he is found guilty. Examining Article 14 of the Constitution, we see that Article 14 provides to protect freedom of speech, assembly, association, occupation, and movement. In studying the articles, one can see the protection that the Constitution of the country has provided to protect the fundamental rights of the people. In a very recent decision delivered by the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, where the petitions, among other things, alleged that then acting president in the midst year of 2022, declaring emergency regulations violated their fundamental rights and guaranteed by Articles 10, 11, 12.1, 12.2, 13.1, 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, 13.5, 14a, 14.1a, 14.1b, 14.1c, 14.1g, and 14.1h of the Constitution. The Supreme Court, by a majority decision, ruled that emergency regulations violated fundamental rights. However, one judge delivered his judgment stating that the emergency regulations did not infringe upon fundamental rights.